Wafanyakazi wote tujiunge pamoja, tujitenge hatari. Haya tujiunge, haya tujiunge, haya tujiunge, tujitenge hatari.
Solidarity
forever.
United
We stand.
Divided
We fall.
Yes, I'm called Singi C. Nicholas and the Workers Programs Officer at the National Organization of Trade Unions, which is a labor center. And today we had a very successful workshop, a consultative workshop on social protection strategy for informal workers, which is being developed by Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. And this consultative workshop was a joint consultative workshop by social partners. What I mean here, that it has been the National Organization of Trade Union, NOTU, and Federation of Uganda Employers, with funding and in partnership with International Labour Organization under Prospects Program. The idea of this consultation is that nobody is left behind, because as workers we envisage the need for everyone inputs and ideas into the national policy frameworks and strategies. So we had a number of participants, different companies which affiliate to Federation of Uganda Employers, as well as workers' representatives and different leaders of trade unions who are basically in informal sector. Their ideas and inputs, including our partners whom we work with within the refugee settlements, as well as host communities like Startup, Collaborate. Then we also had the refugee leaders from West Nile, Kampala, as well as Isingiro. So all these minds came up with strong proposals in ensuring that the persons of concern who are refugees and host communities' ideas and voices are also heard within this national strategy for informal workers in social protection. So those views were one captured by the officials from Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, as well as they will also form our position paper, which we will also officially submit to the Ministry of Gender, so that these inputs and good ideas can be captured into the final text of the National Strategy for Social Protection on Informal Economy.
I am called Zepheniah Ogen. I work with the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development in the Expanding Social Protection Program Management Unit. And under that unit, we are coordinating the implementation of National Social Protection Policy. The policy was formulated by the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development from 2010 to 2015. It was approved by Cabinet on the 4th of November 2015. And so we've been implementing this policy for the last 10 years. This policy identifies social protection as one of very key strategies for national development in this country, Uganda. Social protection is an intervention to build resilience and also to enhance productive capacity of the vulnerable groups. And in this policy, we see that all people are vulnerable to socio-economic shock. There's no one who is not vulnerable. And there are different kinds of risks and vulnerabilities that this policy looks at. Of course, there are foreseeable risks and there are also unforeseeable risks. The foreseeable risks are risks like, for example, unemployment, retirement. Those are foreseeable risks which everyone needs to prepare for. Old age is a foreseeable risk. Everybody knows that will become old at one point in time. But of course, there are other unforeseeable risks, like, for example, ill health. And also we have natural disasters. Those are unforeseeable risks that also we need to be prepared to cope with. If the population or individuals and households do not have a mechanism to address these risks or mitigate these risks and cope with the shocks that happen, that is what will often lead people to fall into poverty. Let the informal sector workers appreciate this policy. They need to understand this policy and appreciate that what government has put in place is actually for the good of everybody. They need to become self-motivated to ensure that they make contribution for their own well-being, for their own social security, instead of thinking that well, it will be business as usual. If you recall when the COVID-19 was here, it got to most of the informal sector workers not prepared. It was a shock that most of them could not cope with. They had been earning. Most informal sector workers are used to earning daily. They earn daily, and sometimes some of them who earn daily also spend what? Daily. So it is important for them to come to a realization that the income you earn today is better for you to see how you can be able to save some of it for the future.
My name is Kedres Muhindo Mirembe. I'm coordinator Western Region and work with Federation of Uganda Employers. As FUE, we would like to engage with the private sector employers by taking them through our membership value proposition, and also want to encourage them to make the Ugandan labor laws a Bible. Let them use the Employment Act in their work, because we aim at decent work.
My name is Mohammed Bemeriki, chairman of Nakiva Base Camp, Nakiva Refugee Settlement. I appreciate so much the invited to this training and NOTU with ILO and Ministry of Labor. One of the key points that we were talking about is about labor mobility and refugee. How can they be included in Ugandan policy or national policies? Came out to the point of child labor, whereby, for example, if you have refugees who are normally included in child labor due to circumstances they go through in the settlement, and then you find them in a host community area trying to look for a job, and it is causing a lot of early marriages, unwanted pregnancies, GBV, and due to some circumstances of fund cutting from donors and many issues, also security issues. I also going to talk about the NSSF issues. Normally, we refugees, we are being charged the NSSF funds, and then at the end of the day, when we are leaving, for example, if someone is repatriating or someone is being resettled, it becomes so challenging this person to access his funds, because the duration is given by getting that fund is so minimal. So NSSF put there 3 months, and then OPM gives you a movement permit which is for only 1 or 2 weeks minimum, and then it's hard for you to access. You get the time of leaving the country when your fund is not disbursed for your your benefit. So it is also kind of a challenging issue, whereby we would request also to revise that act with OPM and NSSF. One last thing is about the border point. Most of the time refugees, when is given a travel document, when you are to access this East African country or visa-free country, for them they still pay for the visa. So I would also request the government to sit down with the agencies to also to sit and make sure they also see how they can harmonize that act, and also favoring us like also Africans or citizens of the country that is giving us that hospitality.
Hello, my name is Samantha Nagaba, and I'm a consultant trainer from StartHub Africa Consulting Limited. We have been working in partnership and as an implementing partner for the ILO Prospects program in Nachi Valley Refugee Settlement Camp and in Kampala for the urban refugees. With this program, we have managed to train refugees with their digital skills and enable them to find access to different online programs and platforms where they can find work and be able to find a stable livelihood. Yeah, it's part of the informal sector, but so far it's sustainable. We have managed to train over about 218 youth. Most of them have been in the refugee settlements, in the urban center and in Nachi Valley, as mentioned before. About 141 male and 77 females, and 63 and above have been connected to jobs so far, and the rest are being connected as we speak. Yeah, most of these youth use platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, that we have trained them on, and there is a Ugandan partner collaborator that we've been working with on this program. While at this workshop, we're looking at how to help them augment these skills and fill in the social security gaps that we can help the refugees tackle as they work in the informal sector. These are the different persons of concerns really, and the fact that this is what over 85% of Uganda's population is in, the informal sector. Yeah. So this program is funded by the Kingdom of the Netherlands and in partnership with the International Labour Organization. That's how StartHub comes in as the implementing consultant partner in this Prospects online gig work program. Yeah, and the communities in these vulnerable centers are really grateful for this opportunity, and we have seen the impact that this is bringing to their livelihoods.
By names, I'm Catherine Nafola, and I work for the AFC Foundation as the district coordinator under the Rural Employment Services Project, which is being implemented in 4 different districts, that is Madiokolo, Terego, Arua, and Isinjo district. Under this project, we are implementing different activities, but we have 2 pathways that we are using, and one of it is institutional structures, and the second is supporting youth enter into the labor market and become self-employed. Under the institutional structures, we've been able to establish 4 different job centers. One is in Madiokolo, and that is Rigbo sub-county, and another one is in Omugo, that's a refugee settlement in Rhino Camp, and we have one that we've established in Arua City, and the 4th has been established in Ufua, which is still Rhino Camp settlement. In these job centers, they have been equipped with computers, internet, a projector, a television screen. We have a notice board where we advertise and pin different job opportunities. While the youth enter into the job centers, they are able to access the different employment opportunities with the support of a business coach who supports them to develop their CVs, also supports them to ensure that their CVs speak to the advert that they are applying for. Still, when we come to the other side of supporting them enter into the labor market, we have trained them in different entrepreneurship skills, one being an ILO model, which is start and improve your business. And in here, we support them to develop business plans. After they have developed business plans, we select the best business plans and support them with a startup cash. So over 318 were able to benefit from this scheme, and we work very, very closely with UNHCR, who supported us with buses. These youths were able to come to Arua City and be able to procure the different
items according to their business plans. We also do financial literacy, and we also do VSLS. Today, we've been invited by National Organization of Trade Unions to attend a consultative workshop on the National Social Protection Policy for the informal sector. And I am going through the policy. We have identified actually some gaps. We think the policy is not very inclusive when it comes to the people of concern. So especially in objective number 3, you find that that is the only area where the people of concern have been incorporated. But when we look from objective 1 up to the last objective, we feel there is a gap that really needs to be addressed by the Ministry of Gender and Social Development. Thank you.